What is up? What is up? Welcome to another episode of Marriage is Real with your hosts, Damien and
Jamie.
the long lost Jamie.
Hey,
Welcome
y'all.
back. Welcome back. She has been to Israel. She has been in Africa. She has been doing missions work all over the world.
Boy, be quiet.
Or you could just say she's been in the city. We would like to again welcome you guys to another episode of Marriage is Real. We're so happy to be here. Hope everyone, all the fathers, had a good Father's Day. I was looking on social media yesterday and looked, and one of the guys I know, he was like, everybody did good this time. I only saw one Father's Day post for a mom, so we got our props yesterday. So. Somebody
Happy
did
Father's
something
Day,
good.
y'all. Happy belated Father's Day. It's never too late to say Happy Father's Day. So,
that's right. What's going on, Ben? Thank you
to
for
the
joining
real
us
men,
tonight.
to the real men, to the real fathers out there.
So it's been a very interesting weekend. I had an amazing Father's Day. My wife and my children, they took really good care of me. I was very happy. You know, I don't ask for or require a lot, so they did exactly what I asked for, which was
nothing.
I didn't ask for anything. I was just like, so Saturday we went to they took me to brunch to Maple Leaf Diner. I'd heard a lot about the restaurant they've been on.
It was really good too, y'all.
Food Network and some other places and everything. You know what? I didn't even taste the waffles.
Whatever this is right here. This look like
you gotta
the movies you be watching.
You gotta play through.
Where it be like a little
a monster.
Yeah, like that.
But yeah, so I didn't even taste the waffles.
Well, you missed out because they were so good. But we're gonna go back. Ben said Maple Leaf is good. It's
yeah,
still
it was real good.
Absolutely.
It was amazing. So anyway, so we went to brunch, and then after that, they were like, "So what do you want to do next?" I was like, "I want to go home." So we went home, and they were like, "So do you want to do anything?" And I was like, "Well, I kind of do want to see Jurassic Park, but I wasn't really sure if I wanted to do it that day." So Jamie and Michael left, and Jordan, I don't know where's Jordan?
He left. Remember, he was entertaining.
Yeah, he was entertaining this weekend. So we they left me at home.
So we basically let him have a house to himself.
Yes.
Watch all his blood, guts, and death, and aliens and zombies.
And vampires and
them
clowns.
too. Yep, and them too.
Yeah, so it was really nice. I sat in the bed all day long and just watched movies and vegged out, which is perfect for me. And then Sunday on actual Father's Day, I went to Perry's and got the 5 foot tall, the 5 foot tall pork chop. If you are in the Dallas area, I don't know if they're national or not, but if you are in the Dallas Fort Worth area and you have never been to Perry's and you do eat the swine, I would highly suggest Perry's Steakhouse. Go and try the pork chop. It's amazing. It will change your life. But being said,
that's what dads want, to be left alone.
Exactly. And they fulfilled it, being to the T, as old people used to say. So that's what happened this weekend. I had a great time. And if I haven't told you enough, thank you so much for an amazing Father's Day. They gave me really great cards and gifts, and they bought me this cool Houston Astros hat and a throwback jersey too. It's in delivery. It ain't got here yet, but it's gonna.
I would be messing up. Yeah, I would be messing up stuff.
But I had a great time. But thank you again for everything.
No, you're welcome, baby. You do the same thing for me for Mother's Day, so
but
it's only fair that I reciprocate.
Yeah, because you didn't want to do that neither, did you?
I don't never want to do that for Mother's. It be too many people out on Mother's Day. Y'all know how Mother's Day be. So it's just like, I don't want to fight all them people. That's not relaxing. So yeah.
So let's get to it.
So in the spirit of
in
Father's
the
Day
spirit of Father's Day
and fathers
and fathers
and men,
and men and men's.
it means
Jamie had
means.
been talking to me about this message from Bishop Jason. He was talking about manhood and fatherhood and stuff like that. And so I started listening to it before we came live today, and it's pretty powerful. So I figured just in that same vein that we should have a dialogue about traits of a man. You know what I'm saying? What it looks like to be a man, in 2022, in June of 2022. What,
2022. Why
2022.
you stressing the two like that? What up? Hey, dog.
What's going on, bro? Thank you for joining us. He said I got to do a better job at ending, reminding our viewers to tune in. It's just real. It's all good, bro. I know y'all be intertwined in such deep conversations and philosophies that sometimes you run over. It's all good. It's all love, brother. So moving along.
Moving right along.
So we're going to talk tonight about some of the traits of men. So if there are any, I hope we got some ladies that'll June in. They'll join in later and kind of hear some of the things, because there's a lot of we've been talking a lot about dating and relationships, and we actually this past week we had a couple that reached out to us from Atlanta, and they wanted to get some Marriage is Real coaching. So we talked to them, and we were just talking about some different things and understanding the importance
stages of marriage,
the stages of marriage, and understanding, sometimes we're not understood as men, and just kind of helping her to see and understand, what we go through and what we deal with. It's just not going to work and coming home there. So if he's doing his job right as a husband and as a father, it's so much more than just bringing home a check and saying here, and then flopping on the couch and then drinking a beer.
And we're not discounting that, women, we have our struggles too.
Right, I know. I think our job is harder, honestly.
Right, but the reality of it is that more people are prone to talk about the, women and what women go through and how women feel. And, women, we're very vocal about all of that, mothers and motherhood and womanhood and single parents, and single mothers and stuff like that. But a lot of people they ain't checking for men. They like, he a man, he figure it out, so.
Right. And then Dawkins, he told me, he said, take a drink of water, man. You're struggling with the words. Jamie, help me. You know what June mean, bro.
June, tune, and join.
And then BS3 Network says, showing love on YouTube. Thank y'all.
Oh, thank y'all.
Appreciate it. All right.
YouTube. I forgot, we can't forget about our YouTube channel.
Let's get into it. So let's just talk about some of the things, some of the traits that you should be looking for as you're courting, talking to a guy. This is not an exhaustive list. There are some other things that other things that men should have, but we're just going to talk about some of the few that we know of, or that we think are important. So I'll start with at the top. The first one is a trait a man should have is to be kind. I remember I was watching. I don't know who it was. It was Steve Harvey. It was somebody. It was some talk show host, and they interviewed this couple that talked about. So what's the key to having a harmonious relationship?
Mm-hmm.
And the husband said the thing that's gotten him through 80 years of marriage is that he's kind, to be kind. So men,
80 years,
80, not 8,
80,
8 times 10.
Right.
For those that don't multiply good, that's 80.
And out of all those years, the thing he came up with was to be kind to one another.
To one another.
But we have a tendency to be more kind to strangers and people in the world than you do your spouse.
Right. And so, and I think, I can only speak as being a Black man. It's not normal to go out into the world and see Black men smiling a lot. You know what I'm saying?
I always be telling him, dude, check your face. Like, I see why people be scared of black men. Now, us that grew up with black men, you know, that's just a normal, that's just a thing that don't mean nothing. You know, it doesn't mean anything. But somebody that doesn't know, it's like, oh Lord, he mad. This finna mean something. And it really don't. It really doesn't.
And let's see who joined us. Angela,
Hey,
what's going on,
Angela.
neighbor? Good you
Hey.
joined 2 weeks in a row. I see you, girl. I see you. And then Dawkins said, Jamie, you just said a word.
Thanks. I don't know what I said, but thank you.
But yeah, so you gotta be kind. You know, it's not it's almost like a foreign term to be kind. But you know, we gotta be kind, and then we have to be kind to our wives. You know what I'm saying? We can't handle our wives like we handle other
Right.
people in the world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't.
Right. And because I'm gonna make a point. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt you, but I know everybody always checking for. I mean, they always coming for Russell Wilson and Ciara. Like they always coming for them, and I'm thinking to myself, like, because this man loves his wife and he's kind to her and he treats her like she's special, that makes him a simp. I don't understand the rationale of why so many people have so much to say about.
But you know what? The majority of those people that say that are guys that are single. That aren't married, because
or they're guys that are hurt. That's what I think it is too.
Yeah,
hurt men.
Yeah, but a lot of those guys are unmarried, and they are in the red pill movement, and they think that a woman should be less than.
And I guess maybe they've just never felt that way about anybody.
Right, because if you've never been in a relationship with someone and had that one, there's something and there's a way that you will be with your one that you're not with any other woman, and you can say whatever you want and you can proclaim whatever you want to, but there is a woman walking God's green earth that will get any and everything out of you, and you will want to give to her in a way that you've never given to her, because that's the one that you're connected with. That's the one that pulls at your heartstrings. That's the one that you would lay your life down for. And it's ridiculous to me to think that you wouldn't want to be kind and loving to your wife. That doesn't
I don't understand.
And I don't understand how you.
And why does that make you weak? Why does that make you? I mean, I don't understand that. Like, he can't go and be the quarterback at home. You know what I'm saying? I can't do you like I do these dudes when I leave my team. I can't do that to my wife. It's not the same. Like, you got to take that hat off and put on your husband hat. You're dealing with a woman that you love, mind you. Mm-hmm. Because I'm just thinking about a lot of men when it comes to their mothers. They're totally different with their moms than they are with any other woman. If they've never been in love, if they don't have children, if they don't have daughters, if they ain't serious about a woman. Mm-hmm. And then if a woman does come along that they're serious about, she can't come for his mama because he gonna act away. So why is that different than you can be this way about your mama? Oh, that's my mama. Mm-hmm. But it says in the word that you leave and cleave. So then your wife takes more precedent than. So I don't understand what the problem is.
And you know what? You know what? It just got dropped in my spirit.
Just go on, Lord. Drop it on him, Jesus.
There hasn't been enough of a model of being kind and how you should treat your wife. That's
very true.
And so that's not normal.
That's very true.
You know what I'm saying?
But you know why? Because it hasn't been modeled from a man of being kind and treating their sons a type of way either.
That's good.
I mean, it's like it's like what came first, the chicken or the egg? It's kind of like that.
Because the son becomes a husband one day.
Exactly. And that son grows up to be a man. And if all you ever heard was man up, stop crying, men, you know, he's 2. He's supposed to cry. I just be like,
he's still nursing.
Yeah, like what is wrong?
Well, maybe do they still nurse it too?
Some of them do.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But still, it's okay for little babies to cry.
Angela.
Dawkins said, I've always said charity, love, kindness start at home. That's right.
That's so real.
That's
Absolutely.
real. Charity, love, and kindness start at home. That's right. And for all of the brothers that's in ministry, let me give y'all another little nugget here.
Little tidbit.
Your first ministry is at home. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to take care of home first. That's what Dave Hollister said.
That's what he said. No, he didn't.
He did say
Mhm.
that.
Now I put this thing on silent. It's still, go ahead.
So you got to take care of home. Don't, because there are some people that we know that have gone into ministry, and they're younger people, and we've had a conversation with them, and I pulled a young man. He just got ordained. Pulled the young man to the side and said, "Hey, let me tell you something. You can go out here and do all this ministry work and do all this stuff, but if you're not taking care of home first, then God is not going to find favor with that, because He gave you that family for
Right.
you to be the steward over that first.
Right.
So you got to make sure you can't treat your wife bad and talk to her and demean her and not handle business with her, and then think you can turn around and then go lead God's
So
people.
shepherd all these people.
That ain't how it works. Because the Bible says to love her as Christ loved the church.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
And your first ministry, it begins at home. That's like pretty much with anything. It starts at home. God gave us this. He gave us the family unit, and I believe even marriage it teaches us more about oneness than
two-ness.
than being single. It teaches you a lot about yourself when you're married. Because when you by yourself, you ain't got to compromise nothing. You don't know you don't know what it's gonna take to be like, okay, this I need to do better in this area. You know what I'm saying? You really have to adjust.
Right. All right. So number one, be kind. You said you had something to say, or you already said it?
I was talking about Russell and
okay.
that girl.
Cool. And then let's move. Oh, Angela said, Damien, come on, sir, preach. Appreciate you, fam. Teach. I read that wrong.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So next one, moving along. Be accountable. Now, this one, it goes both ways. I mean, and a lot of this stuff, it's interchangeable, but I'm just saying, because we're the head, we got to take these actions and these steps first. That's what I'm saying. But you need to be accountable for your part and judge yourself first.
You know me. What I'm saying? I always say you first.
Judge yourself first. Another thing that I hear and see in the new movement is a lot of the blame, if not all of the blame, is placed on women. And I always bring up the example of you want to be the head until
you got to be the head.
Until you got to be the head. Because think about it like this: if you're the CEO of a company and you're in charge of everything, if that company goes belly up, they're not going to the accountant or the manager or the technician. They're coming to you and asking you, why did you put these people in place that ruin your company, or put the company drop the stock prices or whatever? Those are all the people that you put in place. So you can't put the blame on someone else, because you're the person that's the head. As the head, you yield the responsibility of how everything goes in your house. You don't get to just celebrate all the victories without taking everything else that goes along.
Right. That's mismanagement.
Wow, that's good.
That's what that is.
That's good. That's mismanagement.
And then it has to do with your ability as a leader. Those are your leadership skills,
right, or lack thereof.
That part.
Yeah.
And if you know that you don't have those yet, then you don't get married yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because there is an expectation of you.
Right.
And they are great expectations. So we have a 21-year-old son. So we talk about this often. And I hate to say it. I told him today, I hate to say it like this, but there is a burden of responsibility. And I don't want to call it a burden, but my husband, as man, said, it is. It's a level of a burden of responsibility, because God gave you the charge. He didn't tell us to do what he told y'all to do. And like I'm glad I don't want that responsibility. I'd rather sit on this side of being a woman and bearing the children versus being the head of the household. Yeah, because a man don't want to have no kids.
I don't want to bear nothing.
But that's how God made us different, because that leadership role, like all that, I'm a boss and I got it. And I'm going to tell y'all, listen, we get into a age in our lives, as you get older, you realize, yeah, you can do it by yourself, but do you want to? No. And the thing about that is it makes life so much harder when you just saying, I don't need nobody. I got it. I can do it. I've always done it. That may mean that you need to check some blind spots, because we're gonna talk about that. Some blind spots, and that comes from like anger and resentment and hurt and things that you're so guarded about that you don't even realize you don't even let yourself be healed in this area, because you've written this book, or you wrote yourself this what's the word? You wrote a narrative for yourself about yourself. But the reality is you do. Everybody needs somebody.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
And the thing is too, even though you can do all of this stuff, the question is, do you want to?
That's what I said. I ain't got no fan. Dang.
You got a sketch pad.
Ooh, that's too big.
Oh.
These lights.
But yeah, do you want to do all of it by yourself?
No.
You know what I'm saying? Why?
Mhm.
I mean, help is great.
Right.
I'm so appreciative to her, because she helps me so much.
We tag team very well.
Yeah.
It's a partnership, but that's all. That's what it's supposed to be. That's the whole. That is the whole. I believe purpose of marriage. You know what I'm saying? It's not just so you can get together and y'all can just have sex and have kids, because after after you had the kids and after you did it and all that stuff, what's left?
Y'all.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And that's the part that I think a lot of people don't think about is this ain't just we in our 20s, we young, we finna get
We
married,
traveling,
we traveling, we doing all that.
We on the boats.
Okay, but then what else? But then what?
Yeah.
Y'all just looking at it.
And then sometimes what happens is once the kids come into place, you put all your energy into the children, that you lose sight of your spouse.
Yeah.
And you can't
You
do
definitely
that,
lose
do
sight
that
of each
either.
other. Absolutely. And that's hard not to do, but you just got to make an effort for that not to happen.
Yeah.
But we was talking about men. What was we talking about? Because we got off on the
Oh, being accountable.
Oh, right. Being accountable. And a lot of people, it's hard for people to be accountable, because that means you have to, like you said, look within yourself. Well, like, why did I do that? What? And this is what I'm realizing too, though, is a lot of people have a problem with owning their stuff. If you know you messed up, and I'm saying this from experience, because I used to choke on the words "I'm sorry" or "I apologize." I would have to be like, I would almost have a panic attack, like I gotta apologize. How I'm gonna do it? So instead of you like literally saying, "I'm so sorry that I did that. I'm sorry that I hurt you. I'm sorry if this woo," you'll say, "Well, I'm sorry if you felt that way." That ain't no apology.
Have you seen that? It's a meme going around on TikTok and stuff, when they say when guys say you gotta go apologize to your husband. Have you seen that? So it's a meme of people are going around, and then the woman throw a fit because guys say she gotta go apologize to her, so she started going all crazy, throwing a tantrum.
That's how you feel. True. But it's really hard for you to own your stuff. It's hard for you to like take the accountability as, just like you said, a person in general, before a man to be held to say they have to hold the accountability for
everything.
The house,
because God is gonna hold us accountable for if what happens within our house,
because it flows down, right? I mean, that, like you said earlier about a business, it flows down. It doesn't flow up. So it starts with him, it starts with them, and goes down. Because a lot of times it's not even about, a lot of people will leave a job based on their direct supervisor, the person who is over them, because it flows down. But if you have a good supervisor, you can stay at that job forever. And I just need her to leave.
But do you know that for every situation or position that I've been in, probably in my whole work career, probably I say about 90%, when I did leave, it had to do with your direct manager.
Absolutely.
You could be working for a great company, but if your direct manager ain't about nothing,
right,
it don't work good.
Right. Yeah. And I think too, men get a bad rap, because I think what happens is a lot of times, guys, y'all make it look so like, you make it look like you got it. Like, I'm good. That ain't bothering me. And like we'll say, what's wrong with you? What you thinking about? What you say?
Nothing.
And what does nothing really mean?
A lot.
It means a lot. And so we like trying to probe and pull and ask the questions, and y'all just like, nothing. I'm good. But what it is like, really, it's nothing that I want to tell you at this time.
Right.
And it's also something that I think maybe you can't handle.
Right.
And sometimes, guys, it's like, it's not that we're being inconsiderate or that we're being insensitive. A lot of times we're just uninformed because men don't talk. A lot of times men don't talk because men have not been taught to talk.
Mm-hmm.
They've been taught to internalize.
Mm-hmm.
So what do? You suffer in silence.
Mm-hmm.
You bleed in silence.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have held that stuff in for so long, when you finally say something about it, the presentation of the way it comes across distorts the truth. Like I can't even hear your truth and how you feeling because of how you present it to me.
Because it could be like letting off a thank you, babe. That's that fresh shade. Letting off a water hose.
Right.
Like putting out a fire and it just shoots
right.
out.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Because what's happening is you turned it on. Because you got the water hose, you turn it on, but then you got to squeeze the thing. So it's on, so the pressure is building.
Mm-hmm.
But just looking at it, it don't look like nothing is happening. So
right.
when you finally do let loose
it's all on the
to
inside.
try to tell me what, or I done picked at you so much.
Yeah.
That when it does come out, it comes across as attackatory, or if that's even a word, or it comes across as so rude and mean. I can't even hear your truth. And all I know is I'm like, who you talking to?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can't even be sensitive to how you feel or consider that because I feel like you being mean. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You being an asshole. You know what I mean?
That's a new word.
And so I feel like a lot of times how men feel gets lost in translation.
Right.
Because you've held it in for so long and you made it look like a lot of times you good. And we're asking you, what's wrong? What can I do? What can I say? What can I, what I'm saying? It's like, no, I got it. It's cool, whatever. But it's like, okay, give us something. Even if you give us a little bit just to see, okay, I'm getting this, see how she gonna handle that. And when women, I will say, when he give it to you though, make sure you handle it with care, whatever it is. Because if you don't, then he gonna go back inside. He ain't come like the groundhog. He ain't coming out no more.
But like one of the things that she says, which is a very, very fair and good point, is sometimes we're not sharing because we may not think that you are sturdy enough to hold what we got to tell you. Just like, right. Yo, the roof on fire.
Right.
Like you might not need to know that yet.
Right.
Until it's time for us to evacuate the premises. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. So you trying to put the fire out.
Right.
I was like, what's going on? Oh, ain't nothing.
We good. Somebody barbecuing next door. That ain't nothing.
And then you come in, you done been marred and it fell off the roof and hurt, but you get yourself together before you come in and you like, oh, they wasn't none, I got it. So we don't know really. We can't count up the cost of what it takes to be y'all and to do y'all and to do this thing called husband and leadership. And I'm like I said, women, don't come for me. Talking about we do stuff too. I know we do, but we ain't talking about us right now. We talking about them in the spirit of Father's Day and men. A lot of times we just don't know. Because one thing about it with women, if we feel in some type of way, we gonna say. Well, I'm just telling you, I don't like the way we gonna verbalize and vocal, be more vocal about how we feeling. Men will go inward and just shut down or stop talking, or they'll get mad and angry and slam doors and leave and drive off and do the stuff. And it's like, well, why you just couldn't say to me? Because they haven't been taught how to share their pain. Because again, like I said, a lot of times men suffer in silence. Go, you was gonna say something?
No, I'm just waiting on you to finish.
I did. Okay, go ahead.
I was gonna read some of these comments here.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, yeah.
Dawkins said, "Tag team back again. Check your record. Let's begin."
Tag team.
You showing your age, bro? That's 1993 right there.
But the fact that you know the year, though.
I know it. I know I'm older. Angela said, or the apology is followed up with a but.
Absolutely. You own it. That part right there, that just really contradicts everything else you said that before the but.
And then Dawkins said, "Girl, Jamie, you teaching."
Doc, this is 24 years of marriage. This is all life lessons learned. Yeah, okay. The wings is here. Sorry, y'all about the
Dinner has arrived.
Dinner time. Go ahead, baby.
All right, next one. We're gonna keep it moving. I got like 30 of these things.
Oh Lord Jesus.
As men, we have to be willing to admit when we are wrong.
Right. Which goes back to, like you said, accountability.
Right. But you have to be willing to admit when you drop the ball. It's so much easier for us to blame it on external stimulus, or, I didn't do this, because I hear a lot of guys that are they're not saying what they did, or saying, yo, I messed up. I didn't do this. I didn't say this. I didn't perform this way. I didn't, and that's one of the things that I have tried to make a staple within our lives and within our relationship is I never want to get past the point of apologizing.
And I have to give you your props. He does well about apologizing and apologizing quickly. Like now, or before when we was younger, it was, a mess. But now he will apologize and apologize quickly. And one thing I will say, I add to that, women mirror you, regardless of what she say. I know y'all gonna try to come for me. I don't care. We are by nature, we're second in the rank. Just like first child, middle, second child. It don't matter what you do, how mad you are. They were born first, you the second. In the order of God, man, woman, child. So we came second. So by nature, we're just second. Doesn't mean that we're lesser. We're second.
It's positional.
It's positional.
Yeah.
So sometimes we will mirror, most of the time, we mirror how you are. So if you notice, men will say, well, when we first got together, it wasn't like that. We used to be. Check yourself, because she may be mirroring the energy that you're giving her.
That's good. That's good.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you and you done lost your train of thought.
No, I mean, I
you
made
was
my
saying
point.
Oh, okay.
I got enough of these that I can say something quick and just keep going.
But yeah, but I have to say that even with us being, and now that God has blessed us with age, I say that all the time, because I'm not old, I'm just better. I'm okay now with admitting a lot of the things, some of the things that I did was because I was mirroring your energy or your tone or how you were, because I don't know. I think it's just a woman's nature that we do that. If you're treating us well and, doing all these things and saying all these things, we believe what you're saying. Like, he treating us good. He say, we going to do this. We finna do this. We going to do, you telling your homegirls, oh girl, yeah, he said, we going to move over here. He going to do this. And then, 6 months back, he ain't did none of that. He said. So then it's like, you know what? No. And so you start doing you. And so he distracted with something else, or destroy, or feeling, whatever. And we distracted because we like, well, he ain't doing what he said he gonna do, so I'm just gonna do me. And thus begins the breakdown of the marriage. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. So in that same vein, we'll move on to the next one. Some of the traits of a man that you should be looking for out here in these streets.
Okay.
Be emotionally mature.
Ooh, that's hard.
That takes time.
That's hard.
I can't necessarily say that it comes with age. It comes with work. You have to work on being emotionally mature within your relationship. I just think it's very important for us to know that sometimes things are going to be said that you're not going to be okay with when your coattail is pulled, or when your spouse or significant other is telling you about you, which again could be a blind spot, that you don't see yourself. You don't see the way that you react. You don't see the way that you respond and behave in certain settings and in certain situations. You have to have you have to put your big boy drawers on and be able to listen to what someone is saying to you
Mhm.
and then process that information, especially if you know that they're coming from a good place.
Right.
Like if you know that your spouse is there to build you up and they're not there to tear you down. If your spouse has goodwill towards you, you will hear us say that time and time and time again.
Mhm.
When you know that your spouse has goodwill towards you, you want to make sure that you're when they're telling you things, the things that you may not even know about yourself, that
Mhm.
they've noticed, because there are things, we talk about this all the time.
Mhm.
There are things that there are ways that we have that we don't even know that we have. So if there are ways that we have, there's attitudes that we have, there are things that we say, there are reactions and stimulus and triggers that we deal with all the time that we don't even know that we do. There are things, and there are things that she does
Lord.
that I think are cute. There are her little ways that she has. She does these things every single day. She has no idea that she does them, and she does them every day. And so, in just in something that small, but if you aren't aware of your domestication or the way that you were brought up, there are things that you brought into your relationship that you're unaware of, that that person can see in you, that they, if they want the best for you, they're going to tell you, listen, husband, whenever you get, whenever the light bill comes in, you punch a hole in the wall. And it's like, no, I don't. But it's holes all over the walls. She sees what you're doing. She sees the way that, like, oh, when you get home and there's an extra hole in the wall, and your kids be like, well, oh yeah, your mama like, oh yeah, the light bill came. That's why it's another hole in the wall. So you have to be emotionally mature enough to hear where you may be falling short in certain areas, because again, that person wants what's best for you.
And then so and to your point where you say be able to see, I hear it said all the time, intimacy is into me see. So when you're building intimacy with someone, they can see things about you that you don't necessarily see about yourself. And a lot of times we talk about this all the time, is when you're on autopilot. That autopilot, man, it
runs the majority of your life.
And it goes back to those blind spots, because that autopilot is it's those things that are so deep seated and deep rooted in you that you didn't even realize that you still got those trauma triggers, and you do this and they do this, and this happens and then this happens. But you, in your mind, you're like, I don't do that no more, because I know that I am consciously working on that. And that's the operative word. You're consciously working on that.
But that ain't what we're talking about.
But when you just on autopilot, and you're not recognizing that you did it again. Listen to what I'm saying to you. I'm not trying to be malicious. I'm saying to you, you do a great job. But in those times where you're not thinking about it, it's easy for you to revert back. So what we're trying to do, like we say all the time, is work toward making it so second nature. Like for me, getting up in the morning, brushing my teeth, taking a shower before you go to bed at night, it's like autopilot. Sometimes I'm just going through my day and I'm just like, I do this. The other night I took a shower and I got in the bed and I was eating. I was like, did I take a shower? I was like, oh yeah, that's it. Because I was just, and I had so much on my mind. And when you're thinking about so much stuff, them days when you drive home and you're like, I don't even remember how I got home. You just know your way. That's how marriage is. When you've been married to someone, you end up feeling like you know your way. And sometimes you don't even see what you did. And on your way to that house, sometimes you may have ran a stop sign. You weren't thinking. You may have, almost ran a red light because you just had so much stuff on your mind. So don't negate the fact that there are times, even though you feel like you are working on that thing, sometimes you still can fall short.
And you will fall short.
Yeah, so you got to give that person grace.
Right.
Just like when they mess up, just like for when you gonna mess up. Because if you married to another person, it's gonna happen. It's bound to happen.
Yeah.
But I will say, sometimes I can say I give him a pass on certain things, because I realize, being a Black man in America, I'm not taking nothing away from the other men in America, but I'm married to a Black man. So being a Black man in America is hard. Even when we could be in the store and I'm, down here, I'm back here and he's up there. I see how the people looking because he got on a cap and got some locks. I see the woman, kind of, clutch her purse or, feel some type of way or, asking questions. So what y'all done? Why? Why? We over here because we over here. It's just, but if I come along and now he's a married man, all the energy changes, the dynamic changes. So I see what even just you have to deal with just in the world, but then you come home, you don't say, I'm a black man and you know how people treat me. You need to do it. You know what I'm saying? You just make it because a lot of times men are not taught to complain. You just grit and bear it. And what you always say, I gotta go another day.
Gotta go another
You know what
day.
I'm saying? And so sometimes when we get caught up with the kids and we get caught up with all of the other things that we're doing, it's so easy to I hate to say neglect, but neglect the nurturing or the let me not say nurturing, the attention sometimes that men need. Because for instance, you have certain people that's like you have to pull the information out of them. Like you got to keep asking it. You ask it another way. And then maybe he ain't gonna tell me now. Well, after we have sex tonight, I'm gonna say, remember earlier when I said, then he may open up. Like you got to be thinking about these ways to try to, get this information out. Because if you got a good man, a real man, they don't want to dump too much stuff on you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not, and I'm not going to. I'm
right.
100% not going to. Because here's the thing. Let me get y'all in the cave real quick. Check this out. Sometimes it's not that I'm not going to tell you, it's a timing thing. Mm-hmm. Not that I'm not going to let you know, but as an effective good leader, I've got to make sure that the timing of the information that I'm going to provide you is in a place and in a time that you can accept it, because it ain't always time. You know what I'm saying? The right thing, the wrong thing said at the right time. The right
thing said at the wrong time.
The right thing said at the wrong time can be
the wrong thing.
The wrong thing. Right. But the wrong thing said at the right time, it's still wrong, but it's a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? Palatable.
By the time you tell me, or by the time it's already resolved.
Yeah.
But I just want to let you know.
Yeah.
It's already done. Again, going back to how you make it look easy. You see what I'm saying?
Make it look easy.
Yes, men can have a tendency to make it look easy where we don't see it, but a woman, sure, we run through the house cussing, we throwing stuff, close the door, get up, clean up, we get to screaming. Y'all know we frustrated. Y'all know, okay, she on a rant, but it don't mean nothing. But for a guy, they don't usually rant. They don't usually go on a rampage. They usually just kind of get quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just know you're not acting like yourself.
We stay solution minded.
Yeah.
How can we figure this out? How can we move forward? How can I make it to where things are going to keep moving the way that they need to go?
And then sometimes they might have, if you know your spouse, because we're students of our spouses, remember y'all.
We should be.
They'll have a little outburst. And it's like, or, you may have said something and the comment was a little, harsh, or it was a little like, not necessarily, they were like, okay, something going on. I ain't gonna address it like right at this moment, but I'm like, you good? Yeah, I'm good. What you talking about? Why? Okay. But I know, because I know him, it's something. He just ain't telling me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Because one of the things I will say that she helps me with is like, if I'm not feeling well, she, I just ain't gonna really go there. Mm-hmm. But she helps me with that.
Right.
And she that's why I told her, I ain't trying to cheat. You be noticing too much.
What's one thing about it? We don't know.
Where's that eyelash? You left here with 78 eyelashes. You came home with 73. You been tussling with somebody. Where them other 4 eyelashes? I counted them before you left.
That's one thing about women. We are very detailed. We gonna pay attention. If you need private eye investigator, ask a woman. She will find the information for you.
What are you talking about? And all the while, I'm like, what's she doing? Nothing. And so,
oh my God,
Angela said, "This is so good." And then Dawkins said, "Angela, say that again. This is good." Thank y'all. We appreciate it.
And look, Angela said, "Yes, we are. Yes, we know some stuff. You ain't got to never say a word, and we gonna know. Oh, okay. He think I'm crazy, but I ain't gonna say."
And the thing about it, I know I'm getting off on a tangent, but you know what? It's so easy just to tell the truth because I don't want to be thinking back to what I said because they gonna remember.
Yes, we
You
are.
remember
Yes, we
1996 when we had went and got them tacos at Jack in the Box at 3:00 in the morning.
And
You
it was
told me
that chicken that purple in them purple pants, and you said you didn't know her, right? But when we saw her just over there, you said, "Oh, remember?" We be remembering some stuff.
I'm just not gonna remember that, so I'm gonna just keep it 100. It takes too much effort. I don't want to remember all that stuff. To be honest with you, I just don't want to remember all that stuff.
Oh my god.
Okay, moving on. We might have to do a second part of this because we see how this.
You always do that. It's good to be unprepared. Go ahead, baby.
So next one, we're talking about traits that you should be looking for in a man. The next one is you want him to be forgiving. And if you split up the word forgiving, it's forgiving. Giving. Marriage is if you're going to be married, you have to understand what did I write? You have to be willing to forgive if you're going to stay married. If you're going to stay married, not get married, but stay married.
That goes for both people.
Yeah, you gotta be willing to forgive. There are gonna be, one of the things I think you mentioned this earlier. You're gonna have to give the grace that you're gonna need one day.
Oh, you're gonna need it.
You're gonna need grace.
Ooh, you're gonna need
you are going to mess up. You're gonna say the wrong thing. You're gonna do the wrong thing. It's bound. It's 100% gonna happen. So you have to be willing to forgive her. When she messes up, when she drops the ball, when she says the wrong thing, when she hurt your feelings, you got to forgive
that part.
Her.
And ain't no dudes really ain't out here talking about somebody hurt their feelings, but you know your feelings hurt too. You human first.
You human.
You have feelings that get hurt too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You have to forgive.
And I will say this. There's two things I want to say, and I know I'm not gonna speak that I'm forget one, but I'm already kind of forgiving. What you say? Forgiving. Hurt feelings. Oh, I will say this. A lot of times, in a lot of instances, women, young ladies, girls, they didn't grow up in a home with men. A lot of times, women don't know how to talk to men. It's not that we're being rude. It ain't that we being disrespectful. She another angry black woman. We haven't been taught. That wasn't in our domestication. Us talking to you is like us talking to anybody because we didn't have a daddy to see our mother model for us how to talk to your daddy with respect so that he still has his dignity. We didn't see that. You know what I'm saying? We just know your mama said, don't be letting these out here treat you this type of way. Get that paper. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times,
be independent.
A lot of times it comes from what we didn't know. So just like y'all are learning how to be husbands, sometimes we learning how to be wives too. So again, you have to be forgiving. You can't just be like, oh, she got me messed up. She thinks she just gonna disrespect me. Just say that. Again, we're uninformed because if something made you feel disrespected, how I know that? If this is how I talk, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It don't take no energy for you to say, when you say that, I don't really like the way you say that because, I feel like you're being disrespectful to me. Say that. Don't just, automatically attack. Like, who you think you talk? I'm like, well, this is how I talk. You know what I'm saying? Because it's cool when I'm talking like this to somebody else, or it's cool when I'm talking like this and we're not talking about this particular subject. Mm-hmm. But all of a sudden now we talking about this subject and I'm saying the same and acting the same. Mm-hmm. Now it's disrespect. So you're going to have to tell me, bro, because I don't know what you're talking about.
And the thing we have to know and understand when we can't deal with our wives how we deal with other people, mm-hmm. like other men, because sometimes the way and the tone, because again, it goes back to presentation and how you're mm-hmm. saying what you're saying. Your tone and the way that you're trying to get me to do something is confrontational. Mm-hmm. And men handle confrontation different than women do.
And I won't say, I know confrontation is a derogatory term sometimes, but sometimes confrontation ain't a bad thing. I think what you're saying more is it's combative. Like you feel like.
I'm saying from a man's perspective, the way that a woman says things sometimes mm-hmm. is perceived to be confrontational.
Like coming at you. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm saying
in that way.
I'm saying confrontational. Mm-hmm. And so when we look at and see that in the world and in the streets, we handle confrontation a different way. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we can't handle them that way. We can't handle our wives like we would handle something outside of our four walls. That's not who they are. And then again, we have to be again forgiving and letting and helping them to see and understand, baby, when you say this, when you talk to me, like she just said, that's not, I don't like that. Let's figure a way. Let's find a way out that we can work on this together so that when you have these grievances or these qualms with me, that they don't come out this way. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And what I was saying about confrontation, going back to that, is like, I'm not, sometimes when people say you have to they confronted a situation, everybody seems to think that confrontation is negative. Confronting something is not always a negative thing, but it's in the
way you do.
It's in the that's
right.
that's why I'm saying. So I'm saying like confrontation in the way that it's combative, like you coming at me in a certain type of way, not like I'm confronting a situation because this is something that we have to talk about.
Right. Yeah, that's not what I'm talking. I'm talking in the way that it is presented. Right. Not because the thing is America, we both grown. And if Absolutely. You have an issue with me about something,
you have to confront the situation.
We have to address the situation, but a lot of times it's in how that we do it.
Right.
We say this all the time. Presentation is everything.
It's the key.
You know what I'm saying? Because, me confronting her can be me grabbing her and saying, this is how we do it in the streets. You know what I'm saying? But that's not how you handle your wife. You know what I'm saying? And for women, it's this. It's the neck and the fingers and the hand and all that. Don't put your hand up at me like that. I'm not one of your homegirls. You know what I'm saying? Don't talk. Don't try to handle me like that. Don't handle me like that. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God. And again, that's what I'm saying about women. When I grew up in a house full of our family is 90% women. We just now started having.
We conceived the first boy.
First boy in the family.
Yeah.
90% women. So when we talk, y'all know how Black women talk. That's how we talk to each other. We ain't, it don't mean nothing. We ain't mad. We ain't being disrespectful. Like, girl, you get that off you. That does not look good. No, because you just around women all the time. So if you try to do that to your dude, take that off. That don't look good. He like, who you you know? So
your chest gets to burning.
You get hot in your chest, you already know.
Your ears get red.
But so sometimes it's just a lack of just the experience.
A lack of knowledge.
Yeah, it's ignorance. It's just a lack of experience and being around that. And just knowing that we men, based on that sermon that you said we were listening to, I was saying about Bishop Jakes was talking about men pour in. And when you're pouring good things into her, our I guess charge is to take it and preserve it and make something, you're gonna give it to us this way, but it's gonna come out like this. You know what I'm saying? But if that's not happening, then because you feel empty because everybody drawing and pulling from you, and then you ain't pouring nothing to her, so both people are empty. So we just dry. Right. We just dry out here in these streets. Literally and figuratively.
David Wood said, your grace and mercy brought me through. What's up, David? Thank you for joining us tonight. And then Dawkins.
INDE. Right. That independence. That's real.
Yeah. And then, what's up, T?
Hi, Teresa.
She's talking about show cane.
I don't even remember what part she was saying that too. Dang, I didn't see the what's the name come out, the message come up.
And I guess we'll end on this one because this time has went by fast, haven't it?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We might do it. We might do a part 2 to this because we still got some more.
We ain't new to this. We true to this. We got part 2 with this.
So
tickle me.
Yes, you do. So we're gonna end on this one. A trait of a that you should be looking for in these dudes.
In a man.
In a man. Not no dudes. Not males, men. Thank you. Appreciate that. Be patient with her. I have never in my life
Y'all don't know what that patience do.
I'm talking about movies, sermons, videos, tapes, beta, VHS, laser disc. I hear this all the time. He was patient with me. I'm like, patient about what? But I hear it all the time.
We need the patience.
And it lines up so perfectly with what we're talking about right now. Is being patient. Can you expound on the patience?
Well, let me tell you. Let me help yourself. Okay. Think about when you make a dumb mistake and when you do something and you just ask God to just, Lord, if you can get me out of this situation. And Lord, just, that ain't what I meant to do. And I knew I wasn't supposed to do it. Like who said it, Paul or Peter? The thing I want to do, I don't do. But the thing, well, you know what I'm saying? But the thing I don't want to do is the thing that I do.
Right.
And God has to give you a chance, second chance, and a third chance, and 136,000 chance. God is patient with us. He's patient with you, like Lord, dang, I know I don't even deserve this. And you still, blessing me and doing this thing. Same thing for women. We know that we women and how we can be sometimes. You know what I'm saying? We know we can be flaky. We know we can be sometimes. We know we can be in a mood and feel this type of way and do all this stuff. You don't want no dude that's like, she tripping. I ain't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? You want somebody who's going to be patient with you and to know your heart. And that's why that intimacy and cultivating relationship is so important. Don't think you just going to get out here and meet this guy and he just going to be this way with you. You ain't deserved that yet. You ain't earned that from him yet. Y'all don't even know each other like that. And that's another thing. That's a whole other video. But we want a man to be patient. Like just rock with me. Like if I'm going through something, I don't need you to be trying to push me and pressure me to do something that I ain't ready to do. Listen. Just listen. I mean, just like if you say you want someone to be patient with you, and I'm trying to put it in terms of that a man can understand, because I know, So if you starting a new job, let's do it like this, fellas. If you starting a new job, I'm sorry, I'm shaking your thing. If you're starting a new job and you got all these credentials on your resume, I do this and I got an MBA and a PhD and I know this system and that system, right? That's all good and gravy. But when you finna start this new job, so when you get in here, they have these expectations of you. You still having to learn the culture of the company. You're having to learn these new systems. You're having to learn all of this stuff to be effective in your role. So what you're going to want from them is like, you like, dang, I hope they don't think I ain't doing a good job, but I'm just learning. Like I'm trying to get it. You know what I'm saying? So you telling the person, my apologies. I may be, this may have happened, but just, give me some time and I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna rock y'all world. Y'all gonna be so happy that you hired me. But that same patience that you would want an employer to have for you so you can get your bearings down, it's kind of like that same thing with women in a relationship. Does it help?
That helps.
I'm trying to think about it from a man's perspective, like, because it ain't a lot of stuff that y'all be relating with us. We own.
Let me read these comments because we got about 2 minutes left. Teresa said, y'all sleepy. And then Dawkins said, that was Paul, Jamie. You want it.
Oh, that was Paul. Thank you, Doc. I know you know.
And then Teresa said, that's my Larry. God knew what he was doing.
I'm telling you, you have to have somebody, because especially when you know yourself, if you're a real person, a real woman out here in these streets that's gonna say, yeah, I be tripping sometimes. I know I do. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes when you love a person a lot, it's just kind of in the way that we love. Everybody loves differently. Like alluding back to the domestication, the way y'all family did it and the way your family did it. This just might be the way that I love you. And he like, well, I don't want you to love me like that. I don't want to participate in that type of love. Well, okay, well, give me patience, give me time to learn this new culture.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? This new ecosystem. You know what I'm saying? The same patience that you would want someone to have with you if you were wanting to be your best for them,
mm-hmm.
But you still have it. You're still having to learn, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
It's that same thing. It's like God's grace. Just be gracious, be kind. I mean, that's basically what it is. I don't know why people feel like that piece of it is really hard, but I think it's just because, you know why? This is an epiphany.
You got 30 seconds.
I mean, do we gotta stop right at 8:30?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm having an epiphany. I think the reason why men don't do well with learning how to have patience is because patience was never given to y'all. There you go.
We're going to continue next week. Thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight for another episode of Marriage is Real. We love y'all.
Thank y'all.
Have a good night.
This is Entree.
Swap on the track, right?